Hello everyone, welcome to our income tax accounting course this fall at HAC. We're so good to have you with us and have you join the class. This is Accounting 203 and we're going to learn about tax accounting. So this podcast is about just how things are laid out in my course and to help you find everything, make sure you know what we're up against, what we're doing this semester. So here's me over here. This is the home page of our course. There's my email, where my office is, a phone number right there. That's all that information is also on the syllabus. This is our news feed. This is where I'll put updates as to things that are due and things that I notice about the students. This will welcome you, not me. But they'll have links in here to the various things that you need to accomplish, keep you up to date. Across the top is all of the places you need to go. Content is where all the lessons are. Discussion boards where you can ask questions. Drop boxes is how we'll do all of our assignments and tests, for that matter. Quizzes, we'll take a quiz each week. This will tell you where all your grades are. If you need to email me, my preference is that you post questions about content on the discussion boards. But if there's a personal question or a grade question, then email is the more appropriate way to reach me. Resources, how to find things like tutoring and other things that hopefully you won't need to do too much of. And then you don't see edit course and virtual classroom. I'll explain that in a little bit. Okay. So I want to just tell you about the types of assignments. Everything that you are going to be asked to do is on our syllabus, and that is in the content under the place to start, and then you have the syllabus for this fall. I also put the schedule. The schedule is in the syllabus, but this is just the schedule as an Excel document if that makes it easier for you. And your syllabus shows like this: information, my name Jason Nielsen, and phone numbers, information about CRN, that sort of thing, catalog description, learning outcomes, textbook. Need to have the 2018 edition. We will be looking at 2017 tax law, not the changes that were made for 2018 quite yet. It'll be next semester. We'll update everything. Schedule of activities and other policies. Okay, so I want to make sure you understand the types of assignments that you are going to do. All right. First of all, there are quizzes each week. They have 5 true, false, and 5 multiple choice questions. You're going to have 13 minutes to complete each quiz. You get 3 attempts. It will not be the same questions on each attempt, although there could be some overlap. There's a database of questions that the quiz chooses from randomly, 10 questions. And so you may have something that you saw on an earlier attempt, but you may not. But it makes sense to look at the answers. Once you've finished, it will be graded and you will be shown the answers so you can check that. And we have the quizzes until Thursday. And we're going to start this week on chapter 1 because we have a lot to cover. All right? So your reading is for chapter 1, and then you take the quiz on chapter 1 by Thursday. A couple of hints: take your notes, and if you you get to use your book to take your quizzes. So you might want to mark some of the things that's like important information so you can find it quickly when you're taking the quiz. You can look it up and find it quickly. So that's each Thursday. Then there's homework. These are going to be more involved problems that you'll have to solve, and that will be, again, the amount, what homework problems are assigned is in the Dropbox. You go to the Dropbox, click on that, and it will tell you which ones you're supposed to do. You're going to complete them, and then you're going to upload your answers to the Dropbox. I will then give you access to the answers and my explanation of those answers using a podcast typically, and that will explain the answers, and then you will make corrections and then resubmit it to the Dropbox. So if the original answers are due on Saturday, and the updated or corrections are due on Monday. And I'm expecting you to be able to show me what your corrections were and explain them in a color, typically red, different from the rest of your homework. So the idea is so I can tell what corrections you made, what you were thinking, where you went off, and you can as well go back and utilize that as a resource so you do not make the same mistakes again. So the idea is not that we don't make mistakes, we try and we work and we figure it out sometimes by making mistakes. Then I'll grade it based on this kind of outline. If you don't have any corrections, it's 10 points, but you should be able to get 8 or 9 depending on the amount of corrections and how well you do at explaining them. So your grade should be almost perfect regardless, because you should be able to go back and make any corrections on homework. All right, then each week we have except test weeks, research question. All right, and this is the idea that we're going to do some tax research. In real life, no one remembers all the tax law. You're going to have to look up answers. And the question is, can you find answers that come from what we consider to be authoritative sources, primary sources? Because if you're going to have to work with your client or defend your client in court or with the IRS, you're going to need a primary source for what you're going to base your argument on. And you need to be able to find out what those sources are, find them. All right, and so I've given you instructions in the another content manager, we'll go there next, but you're going to write these tax research memos. They're going to be written as if you were a professional in a professional office. I've given you an example of one in the content, and you're going to submit that to the Dropbox. And it should be typically 1 page or less, and it should follow the format that I give you. And it should be written like you're writing to a client. So someone in a professional way that you want to explain this so that they can apply it to their business or their personal situation. We're going to complete tax returns and tests. These will be all take home. The tax returns, you'll fill in PDF forms. There's a content module with PDF forms. Any form that you can't find there, you can find on the IRS website. And then our tests will be a combination, mostly problems, combination of problems and explanation and things that you will be able to complete. You'll have approximately a week to work on those, and you'll want to make sure you show all your work when you make calculations so that I can give partial credit. We have a research project about retirement plans at the end of the semester that's given here, of your point distributions, all of the other policies that are important for the semester there in the syllabus. So back to our place to start module. Here's the tax forms I mentioned. Here's any technical help or software help you might need. Here is the content module, how to do tax research. An introduction, okay, and then explanation. Some slides, a explanation. I've given you a video of that, link to the IRS website, Here's a discussion topic for you to post questions about it. Here's an example of a tax memo, what it should look like. A video about how to use the IRS website to do tax research, and a video about how to use CCH, which is a commercial tax research publisher. They collect all the information in one place. You can research it, and they have given us limited access to their database, and that video will show you how to use that, how to do searches there and find the information. So remember, these tax memos are about finding the source as much as it is finding the right answer, making sure you have an original source directly from either the tax law or a IRS pronouncement, and the PowerPoint slides will explain to you the difference between, say, a publication of the IRS and a pronouncement of the IRS. One is a primary source and one is not. So everything else is broken down by topic and week. So in chapter 1, I'll provide you with a PowerPoint slides explaining the chapter. I will then give you narration of those slides, an explanation of the things that I think are the most important and that you might get tripped up on. Maybe some other form of review. There'll be a series of podcasts, your homework, and then here's your answers that'll be visible once you have completed your homework. You won't see this yet. And then the research question, and that's as well as a discussion board to post questions that you have on any of the material. And that's basically the way each module works. Week 6 is our test 1 and tax returns 1 and 2. And week 12 is the second test and the tax returns 3 and 4. And then we have one more test at the end, as well as our last assignment on retirement plans. So that should give you an idea of where everything is. I want to show you virtual classroom. This Thursday at 5 p.m. I have set up a virtual class. This is just a way for us to meet together at the same time if you have questions. This is not required. This is simply a way for us to maybe discuss things that are bugging you or that you're not understanding in a way that you can ask questions and get real-time answers. So you should see this active meeting. At the time that it's ready to go, you'll be able to attend, and then we'll be able to have real-time chat. If you want to use your camera and microphone, you can talk, you can submit, I can see your face, you can see my face. We can also share screens. You can show me what you got, and what I can show you what you should have, or what I've worked on, or how I came up with something, and that sort of thing. So that's there as much as we need. I have not set up any other meetings. I've just set up this one meeting to see how many of you are interested in that form of getting together. We can do different times, different, you can be anywhere you need to be. So you can give me feedback on that in your discussions. Also, I'd like you to introduce yourself. There's an introduction discussion, a little bit about yourself, where you're from, that sort of thing. So now you know class. I live in Leola, Pennsylvania. I've been a CPA doing the taxes for 25 years. I've done this hundreds of times. So that's why I'm able to help you, is because I practice a lot. Okay, it's not because I just know a bunch of stuff. It's because I've done it a lot of times. So that will help me help you. If you'll ask the questions, expect to work and get some wrong answers, and then we'll learn the right answers together and be able to then help people with their taxes, that sort of thing, going forward. So, again, if you have questions, you can post them on the discussion board, and good luck with everything this semester.